It was done by software because there were not as many calls in the voice over IP world. But today, voice over IP is becoming, again, a mass product. And there are hundreds or thousands of voice over IP. And whenever you need to translate one vocoder to another, you cannot use software anymore. You can use, but your CPU will only do software. And maybe it will do 50 channels, 60 channels of vocoder, and then it will crash. But you will not be able to do 500 or 1,000. So vocoder is a must product, is a must hardware product. And again, this is an aid that is coming from Sangoma to the Asterisk community that people want to develop all those PBXs and other voice over IP functionality, and they need transcoding, and they don't want to spend the resources of their expensive CPU or server just for that. This is a simple example of how basically we translate it. So you see there the IP phone using G729, and there's an IP network here, and we assume that the other side needs to speak G729. So how basically you translate the G729 to G711, you need to do it with a lot of DSP resources, and those DSP resources reside on the board. We have few boards that can help you to do from 30 sessions up to 2,000, up to 4,000 sessions, actually. So this is an example of a SIP diaphone services or hosted PBX services that basically, when using the card in conjunction with your application with the Asterisk, so the Asterisk is running there on the iPhones or in the PBX, then basically you just here on the server, your Asterisk is running here, then basically you add it as an add-on module. Again, Sangoma coming from the hardware, helping you to decrease the load of your system. This is a call setup in voice over IP. So these guys, for example, these guys say I can only do G711, and the other guys say I can do G711, G729. So they can speak G711. They don't need any transcoding. But if they are, let's take for example a conference call, or this guy is doing G711, this guy is doing G729, there might be another guy also doing G726 or G723. Then basically you need this box in the middle. So inside this box, inside this PC where you have your Asterisk application, you put the transcoding card, and the transcoding card helps to translate from G711 to G729. In other cases, you would need a CPU to do that. This is a diagram that basically shows the load. It's the number of active calls that you are using. So the more calls you are using, how much CPU load you will have. So you can see that there are two factors. Transcoding, I spoke about it before. There's another factor which is called echo canceller. And echo canceller is basically when you talk to the other side, you don't want to hear echo. And you can solve this in software. Definitely you can. But again, this is a DSP intensive task. You need a lot of resources from your CPU to do that. So with Sangoma, for example, you can use a card that has an FXS card or an E1 card. You can use with a transcoder, with the echo canceller. So once you use the echo canceller, you get rid of this problem. Again, you as a software developer don't need to deal with it, don't need to spend your CPU resources. For the software transcoding, we spoke about it. So imagine if you see this number of active calls, this is being eliminated, and this part, the purple part, is being eliminated because of the hardware that you are using. So basically, you can grow your number of calls much, much bigger. You can have a larger number of calls and still use the same server. This is an example of what happens if you use a CPU to do the transcoding compared to use a board to do the transcoding. So you can see that this is about the same chance, 1,500, 1,600. But the cost, the operating cost, the power there's a huge difference in it. If you're using a board compared if you're using a transceiver. I apologize, the cost here is 20, this should be 20K, not 40, but 20 compared to 7. So it's about half the cost, even a third of the cost. You can save power, so instead of 4,000 watt, you have only 500 watt. And you save the operating expenditure, the OPEX per year. So the maintenance, how much it costs you to maintain this thing, will cost you 5,500 per year. But for this system, it will cost you only 500 per year. So you see how much money you save just for the maintenance, for the power, and for the initial cost. If you use a card, if you use a designated card, hardware card, to help you to offload your CPU. So this is basically a summary of just what I said before. So hardware transcoding allows the integrator to leverage the computer service in order to do a better stable solution and to reduce your cost and basically increase your return on income. So when we talk about business, this is a more, I would say, stable, cost-effective solution. So to summarize my presentation, call centers, we believe that call centers, the bigger they are, the more they need hardware. And that's what Sangoma helps you. Sangoma helps you with the hardware. If you run a call center of over 150 agents, this is where you need to think about using the hardware and how to optimize your system. So if you guys want to talk about this, I'm here the whole 2 days. If you would like to check or test our high-density hardware for your call center today, we can help you to do that without any cost or any obligation. And we promise you that at the end of the day, this will help you to reduce the cost. I'm going to have tomorrow a session of an hour about transcoding. This will be a technical session. I'm a sales guy. A sales guy doing a technical session maybe doesn't sound so good, but I used to be, I have 10 years of R&D in my past, in my history. So basically transcoding is something that is close to my heart. So I'll be happy if you join tomorrow. It will be a very nice technical session to explain you basically how this transcoding thing works. And I'm here at the booth, just outside on the right-hand side. Sangoma is there. These are my contacts, my email, ud@sangoma.com. I'm based in Hong Kong, and this is my Skype, ud_Delgoshen. And I'll be happy to talk to any one of you who just have questions. Please come to see me. If anybody has questions now, please raise your hand.
Anh chị nào có câu hỏi nào không ạ? Ai có câu hỏi gì không ạ?
Okay, thank you very much.
Mời anh chị chắc cho anh Udi một tràng vỗ tay.